So welcome back, my dear students. This is lecture 8 in marketing. And we will talk about some aspects today about the external environment. Then from there, we will go to some other specific points. I just want you to be with me here. And let's start now talking about what is the external environment. So the external environment is, or the external macro environment. External macro environment is all the environment surrounding the organization. That's including the macro environment, which is the aggregate. The aggregate macro means aggregate in everything. Like when we say macroeconomic, means the economic on the national scale. Like when we say macroeconomic, we are talking about the national GDP. We are talking about the GDP per capita, or the income, the share of the person's income from the whole economy. We are talking about the general production. We are talking about the market supply. We are talking about the market demand. All this is about the macroeconomics. So macroeconomics goes into the whole or the aggregate, while the word micro goes to individual. So if macro is the jungle, if macro is the jungle or the wood, then micro is one tree of this jungle or of this wood. So when we talk about the macro here, but we are not talking only about the macro in economic, but we're talking about the macro environment. So macro environment here is including all around us, like as example, the demographies and the economic conditions and competitors and social and cultural forces, political forces, legal forces, and the level of technology used, that is used in the society. So all those are forces that actually affecting, because they are external. So like we said before, that the business unit is working within the external environment. So it should take its own inputs from the external outputs from the external environment and give back its outputs to the external environment. That's why we have to care about the environment around us. We have to care about the environment around us. So here, like when we want to talk about the those forces, also we have to take in consideration. Okay, what about the first one, which is the demographic forces? The word demographic means the characteristics of the people living in a society. As example, their ages, their categories, like how percentage, like 50% men, 50% women, or more or less, like that way. How about the kids, the children, and so on. So this, we call it the demographic. Also, demographic means the ethnics of the people. Let us see this, the demographic with people and people in institute, markets, company. These demographic features relate to growth of population, birth and death rates, sex ratio, age group, rate of literacy, ethnic group, density of population, rural and urban areas, and so on. So these, what we call it, the demographic forces. These are the demographic forces which we have to know about when we come, because this will help us actually in designing all the marketing campaigns. This will help in designing the marketing campaigns. Like as example, if we are doing a campaign for, like we will do segmentation for the market, and each part of market we will direct to it a specific campaign. Then in that case, we have to care about the demographic characteristics of a population. We are talking still about the macro environment. So we have to talk about the economic conditions in a society, how it looks like, what is the type of the markets, Is this a monopolistic market, or is it a free market competition, or is it oligopoly or monopoly, whatever the type of market was. Also, we have to talk about the social factors, like the cultural, social factors or forces. How the culture in this society, how it is culture, by the way, are everything regarding the norms, the habits, the traditions of a certain group of people living in a particular area. We have also political legal forces, how the political system in this country. We have also technology. We have the level of competition between the competitors. So 1, 2, competition, technology, political, legal, social culture, demographic, economic situations, all these will affect ultimately on the fair's marketing program, because you have to put in your concern that these external forces are affecting and will affect and will keep affecting working within your organization. Those are the economic forces, those what we talk about just now, the political, the technological forces. So we have to know all about them, and we have to deal with them from this perspective. So the economic forces like people, we talk here about the inflation, rates of interest in the country, the business cycle, or the stages of business cycle, like also the demand and supply. All these must be taken into consideration as well. Where we are in the economic cycle or in the business cycle, are this country in a time of recession? For how is the demand, how is the supply, like we talked before in this point. The level of the competition in the country, how it is like, if this country or this place is living in competitive environment, means there are a lot of rivals and competitors, or how it works, how this market work. What about this company? Is it working only locally, or it move into working globally? And of course, global economic is different. When you work globally, is different than when you work on local level. The social and cultural factors also affecting, like social forces stand for social values of life, and living the society of today can be divided into materialistic and spiritual values. So we have the life here today in the world is either or both materialistic and spiritual. You can see those two words, materialistic and spiritual. Okay. The domestic materialistic values say life is short, big, borrow, or steal but enjoy the life. While the other group says, the other group, which is spiritual, other group say, think of simple living and high thinking, because more and more needs and wants are the root causes of the miseries of life. It's a very beautiful words here. And on the other hand, culture values are also changing. So we have also the culture values are changing as to clothing, shelter, and day-to-day living. So all these are changing as well. The political and legal forces. Actually, at some points, the political and legal forces prevailing in a country can be grouped into least 5 captions, namely. So monetary and physical policy, how the monetary system, social legislations and regulations, the government relationship with the industries, and the legislation related specifically to marketing. There are some laws, the laws which are there in the acts regulating the marketing and the business, sources of information and buyer of the products. So those are the forces of the political life. Like we said, we'll move into the technology now. And the technology also is one of the major forces, external, macro, external environment forces that affect about the marketing activity. So those are like those forces. Technological breakthrough can affect markets and marketing activities at least at 3 ways. Can start entirely new industries, like the computers or whatever, can radically alter the totally destroy industries. So a kind of industry will come to replace or relieve another industry, or a new topic or new ideas will come to diminish and take a place instead of the old ideas, and so on. Can simulate markets and industries not related to the technology. So those are the forces. What about the external micro? We talk about the macro. Now we are going to talk about the external micro environment. The market itself is a micro environment. The market is where the people will, a place where the willing and the ability of the buyer and seller meet together. Okay. Like here, market is a place where buyer and seller meet. Here it is. Goods and services are offered for sale and transfer in the markets. In the marketplace, take the marketplace. Okay. By other meaning, also we can say that market is a demand made by certain group of potential buyers for a good service. So this is also the market. Okay. Market also will has its market price, and the market price is determined by the interaction of the supply and the demand. For each product is having a supply and demand curve, and for the total market is has also aggregate supply and demand curve as well. We have also suppliers. We have also market intermediaries. Those are the intermediates. Like market intermediaries are the dependent individuals, organizations that directly help in the free flow of goods and services between marketing organizations and the market, like suppliers, all those, we call them intermediaries. There are two types, the merchants and the agents. So merchants and agents, we call them intermediaries. Market intermediaries, those we call them market intermediaries. Okay. The organization in internal environment that consists of the economic components and general economic features, agriculture, industry, and so on, and the social components, but this is application. So we are almost done for this part, and just I need to know some points here. I would like to say in a few minutes some points here. It's like application. You can apply this in regarding any society, and you can apply those factors and get them out by check and search for those points. As example, when you talk about the macro and the micro in any given country, So you can talk about those points which we talked about before, including the demographic features, also the general economic feature in this society or this country. As example, if we're talking about India, then we'll know everything about the Indians, society, the cultural, and so on. Agriculture features of India, as example, the industrial features. We can apply this also in any other country. So the consumer goods features, the urban features, and the rural features, plus also the rural areas and the urban areas, the international features, the legal components of any system or any country also. We have to know about it. We have to know about the physical distribution scene in this country, how it looks like. The channels of distribution, if this country is having too much of long or indirect channels, or the majority is a direct channel. Indirect channel means from the producer to the wholesaler to the retailer to the consumer. We call it indirect, but the direct one is directly from the producer to the consumer. Also, we have to know about the cultural components in a society, the family system, which include the family system, the customs, traditions, and habits of the society, the food habits of the society, the language or languages used in the society, the literacy level in the society, the religious, are there only one religion or more, the castes. What is the castes? Castes is a significant sociological phenomenon. This is particularly in Indian marketing system like religion. The whole Indian society is divided on the basis of castes. Caste is a group of people with a well-developed lifestyle of their own, like a category, like festivals. What is the type of the festivals in this country? Particularly here, as example, is applying on India. So this is also some questions here to prove yourself. And this was very interesting book, actually. Shall come to an end now. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a very, very wonderful day. Bye-bye.